Well, Sharon, it feels like it can't get much hotter out there, but amazingly, it can. As we head into the next few days, we are expecting some warming. It's hazy out there. It's still very warm. And as we get a look at Long Beach right now, can't see it, but you will feel it if you step outside. Still quite warm out there. In fact, right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City, we're at 77 degrees this evening. We do have an excessive heat warning in effect and an excessive heat watch in effect as well. So very warm conditions. It's hot. It's only getting hotter, and we could potentially see more humidity. So the combination making for very sweltering and uncomfortable conditions out there. 89 degrees right now in Valencia, 94 in Palmdale, 82 in Rosemead, 93 in Riverside, 74 in Laguna Beach, and 73 in San Pedro. So still quite warm out there. We got very warm earlier today. In fact, we did tie a record, so we're going to show you where coming up in just a little bit. At this point, radar is showing us mostly dry conditions and mostly clear conditions, but I will tell you we could potentially see a few thunderstorms make their way right back into the forecast. We've been seeing them in the afternoon hours, and that chance continues for the mountains and the high desert as we continue to move through the next couple of days. We'll have more on that, and we'll tell you when we'll finally see some relief from the heat. That's all coming up in just a little bit. Rob and Sharon, back to you.
Outside? No, we don't. But apparently we can't really see it because I don't think it's really dark enough out there.
Is it
the
dark?
sun setting?
Well, it depends. Yeah, it's just getting to that point where it's about to get a little darker. It's not 100% dark yet. The sun excessive heat warning in effect through Friday evening at 8 p.m. to be exact. And want to show you right here, we do have locations are going to be under the watches and, well, the majority of the Southland. Warnings for the San Bernardino County Mountains and the Riverside County Mountains, deserts as well included under this warning. You'll see temperatures right now very warm. We're in the 70s, we're in the 80s, we're in the 90s. That's right now. These aren't your forecast highs. Forecast highs were much warmer. We even tied a record earlier today in Woodland Hills. So we'll have more on that coming up in a minute. You'll see Palmdale 91, Rosemead 81, San Pedro 73, and Malibu you're currently at 70 degrees. So very warm. We'll show you exactly how warm we got today. We're going to show you exactly how much warmer we're getting over the next few days for the Basin and Orange County. You'll see right here 90s for the next couple of days, and then we're cooling it down just a touch. We're pretty much keeping things very warm and very well above average through at least Sunday. By your Monday, we'll be a little cooler. For the coast, 80s, eventually turning to 70s, but even then, we're still in the upper 70s and the mid 70s, so that's still warm for the beach. You're going to see hot and sunny conditions continuing over the next few days. So certainly the coast is a great place to get away to because we are expecting scorching conditions into our inland spots. That mixed in with humidity, again, making for watches and warnings. We're going to break down all those numbers and all of that triple-digit heat. That's all coming up in just a little bit, so don't go away. Rob and Sharon, back to you. Sharon, is that your lab?
That might have been Hudson.
Looks like it. And we're getting a look outside. Believe it or not, it's only getting hotter out there. We'll let you know when we'll finally see some relief from the heat. That's coming up in just a bit. Like a hot dog.
Hey, where's the rim shot?
There we go.
Very
well,
nice.
There we go. I have a pug, and I know I've talked about this before, and he is extremely sensitive to heat, so he has not been outside whatsoever the last few days. And I probably won't be letting him out for the next few days as well, just keeping the AC on inside. And if you have dogs that are sensitive to heat, you should probably do the same thing as well, because it's only getting potentially hotter out there, if you can even believe that. So we're going to tell you exactly how hot it's going to get, how hot it got. Take a look right here. Look for Mount Wilson tonight, and we are looking at, well, a little bit of a haze off there in the distance. Other than that, clear conditions and very warm conditions as well. We're looking at an excessive heat warning in effect, an excessive heat watch in effect through Friday for the majority of the Southland. Heat combined with humidity, making for very tough conditions out there. 79 Valencia, 80 in Rosemead, 91 Palmdale, 75 right now in Laguna Beach. So it's still very warm out there, and you're going to see a little bit of leftover moisture. Most of it's to our east and to our south. We've seen a few pop-up thunderstorms, and we could potentially see a few more as we head into the afternoon hours over the next few days. As we get a look at, well, satellite radar right here, you're going to see most of the monsoonal moisture still sitting to our east, not affecting our forecast at the moment, but again, it could potentially affect our forecast a little later tomorrow. Earlier today, we made it to 89 in downtown, but it felt a little hotter because it was humid out there. It's always going to make things feel a little hotter. There's the feel-like temperature, and then there's the actual temperature. So we did get up to 89. Average is 84, so we were a few degrees above average for this time of year, and we're going to be even warmer as we head into the next 24 hours. For the Basin, for downtown, 70s, upper 70s, and then we're getting up into the 90s by tomorrow afternoon, and that's just for the basin. We're expecting triple digits elsewhere. In fact, we made it to, well, 107 earlier today in Woodland Hills. We broke a record, but these are your highs for tomorrow. As we mentioned, downtown, you're getting up to 92, Santa Monica up to 82, Anaheim 96, Palmdale 108, Riverside 107, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to 107. We're going to show you exactly how hot it got today. Remember, Woodland Hills, yes, you did break a record. You got up to 107. You're doing it again tomorrow. And, well, that last record was 106. So you did a pretty good job there. You'll see, well, over the next few days, high pressure still holding strong. We did see record heat today. We are expecting more warming. Just to recap here, an excessive heat watch, and yes, an excessive heat warning staying in effect through Friday at 8 o'clock. And here's that 5-day forecast for the valleys and the Inland Empire's promise. Triple-digit heat across the board, 107, 109, 106. Still keeping it at 105 by Sunday. And wow, 100 degrees is starting to sound cool, relatively speaking, but we're still hot. It's still hitting the century mark by Monday. Sharon, Rob, back to you.
Nice and hot.
Very brutal. We've seen some record heat combined with humidity, not a good combination, prompting for an excessive heat watch and excessive heat warnings out there. If you don't have an air conditioner, of course, try to find a cooler place, a cooling center, or even a movie theater or a mall. Always cooler places for you there. Drink lots of water, and of course, if you're outside, use plenty of sunscreen as well. We can't tell you those things enough. As we take a look outside from Mount Wilson this evening, you're going to see, well, a little bit of haze in the distance. Other than that, clear conditions and very warm conditions as well. Right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City, we're currently at 74. As we get a look at your headlines for the day, you're going to see record heat. We set a record rather today in Woodland Hills, 107, beat the record of 106. We are expecting more warming on the way, believe it or not. Feels hot, feels like it can't get much hotter out there, but it potentially will. So we are bracing for an even warmer forecast. We're under an excessive heat watch. We're also under an excessive heat warning for the valleys and even some of our mountain locations as well. Most of the Southland experiencing the heat. With the exception of the coast, it's hot there, but it's not as hot as our inland spots. It's hazy, it's hot, it's humid. High pressures continuing to hold very strong over the western region and over Southern California as well. You're going to see that massive ridge of high pressure, and that has been affecting our forecast, and it should continue to affect our forecast for the next few days. We're not going to see relief for a little while. Take a look at your 5-day forecast. It's continuing to stay hot over the next couple of days for the rest of your work week into your weekend even. And by Monday, even though it's a little cooler, we're still at 100 degrees into your inland spots. As we get a look at the Basin and Orange County, you're going to see 90s turning to, well, mid-90s by your Friday. So a little warmer tomorrow. We got up to 89 in downtown today. We saw lots of upper 80s in the Basin. We're expecting low 90s, mid-90s. By Saturday and Sunday, shedding a few degrees. And then by Monday, that's when we're really back to normal for this time of year. This is about average for this time of year. And we're going to show you what it looks like at the coast if you plan on getting away there. Probably a good idea as we head toward the weekend. It will be significantly cooler, but still a very warm forecast there. And we'll have all of that in just a bit. Lena and Sylvia, back to you.
Evelyn.
And temperatures are continuing to heat up. We're going to tell you exactly how much hotter it's going to get. That's all coming up in a moment.
Yeah, we've had lots of severe weather just everywhere. Too much rain there, not enough rain here.
Exactly. It's the complete opposite. It's dry, it's hot, and it's record hot. That's how hot it is. We've seen record heat. We tied a record yesterday. We actually broke a record today.
Wow.
Yeah, and, well, we've got excessive heat watches and warnings out there as well. We've got lots to talk about this evening, and believe it or not, it's hard to even say this, but we're warming up. Even more so. Yeah, if that's even possible. It doesn't feel like it is, but temperatures are set to maybe go up a couple more degrees, and it's going to feel a little hotter. There's the actual temperature, and then there's the feel-like temperature, and that feel-like temperature is hotter because there's humidity that's factored into the equation. That's actually what's prompting the watches and the warnings out there as well. We're going to take you outside in Studio City. Again, we do have that excessive heat warning in effect. That lasts through Friday. We also have an excessive heat watch in effect, and that also lasts through Friday as well. So the heat is on until then, and even as we enter into the weekend, we're expecting pretty warm temperatures. 70s, 80s, a few 60s. Malibu, you're at 67. Other than that, though, Valencia 80, Palmdale 88, and Riverside, you're getting up, or you're at 85. Earlier today, you got up to the triple digits. Elsinore, you're You're one of our winners in terms of hot spots, 111. Palm Springs, you did 113 yesterday. You're doing 115 or did 115 today, and you're doing 116 as we head to tomorrow. So it's getting quite hot out there. 107 in Woodland Hills, Lancaster 107, and yes, Woodland Hills, you did break a record today, and you tied a record just the other day. So very, very hot forecast for us. For the Basin in Orange County, 90s, eventually getting down to the 80s by the weekend, but we're still in the upper 80s and we're still well above average. It's not until next week where we really start to feel some relief. If you do want to get some relief, you can head to the coast where it's still warm. It's just not quite as hot as our inland spots, 80s turning to 70s. And finally, we're getting a look at our inland spots, the valleys and the Inland Empire topping out in the triple digits. Not only, well, 107 for tomorrow, but numbers like 109 for Friday, 106, 105. Monday, it's a little cooler, but even then, we're still hitting 100 degrees. Lena and Sylvia, back to you. Hey there, Sharon. Very impressive numbers today. We broke a few records and we could potentially break a few more as we head into the next few days. As we get a look from Mount Wilson tonight, very clear, just a little bit of haze out there and still very warm out there as well. Right here at the Broadcast Center in Studio City, we're at 74 degrees. As we get a look at temperatures from today, Woodland Hills, you set a record at 107, Lancaster 107, LAX got up to 80, Elsinore 111, and Thermal, just south of Palm Springs, you broke a record. You got up to 115 degrees. Palm Springs, you also got up to 115, wasn't a record, and by tomorrow, you're expected to get even warmer. We'll let you know how much warmer it's going to get. Also, excessive heat warnings and watches out there. We'll have more on those coming up in just a little bit, so don't go away. Robin, Sharon, back to you. And we're looking for more warming in store, believe it or not. Lots of warnings and watches out there related to the heat. We'll have that full forecast. We'll have all that information coming right.
All right, Evelyn.
Fortunately,
to the weekend?
it's going to be a little while before we start to see relief. So, of course, eventually it will get cooler naturally, but it's going to be a little while before that happens. We'll tell you exactly when in a moment. We do want to take you outside right now to the Santa Monica Pier. A lot of people out and about. The coast is the best place to be if you're looking for cooler weather. It's still not cool for this time of year. It's actually much above average, but it's cooler than our inland spots, and we're not looking at watches or warnings there. We are looking at excessive heat warnings in effect through Friday. You'll see for the mountains and the desert an excessive heat watch in effect as well for a lot of our valleys, mountain locations as well, staying in effect through 8 o'clock, and that's 8 o'clock on Friday in effect right now. So it's hot out there, it's humid, and the combination making for tough conditions. You'll see right here, Palmdale, you're currently at 87. Earlier today, you made it to the triple digits. Rosemead 77, 71 in San Pedro, Riverside 83, and Malibu, you're in the 60s. Earlier today, we did see a few pop-up thunderstorms. That chance could continue through tomorrow. We are seeing a little bit of moisture out there, but most of it still sitting to our east. Hot temperatures today. In fact, Woodland Hills, you set a record at 107. Thermal, you set a record at 115. That's just south of Palm Springs there. Elsinore got up to 111, LAX 80 at the coast there, and Lancaster 107. Earlier today downtown, you made it to 89, average is 84, and record numbers 100 degrees. Didn't get anywhere close to that. Over the next 24 hours, 70s, upper 70s, and by the afternoon, we're getting to the 90s. 92 degrees, that's for downtown. That's well above average. You'll see Santa Monica up to 82, so possibly a little warmer for you tomorrow. Palmdale 108, Riverside 107, and Woodland Hills, you're getting up to 107 as well, just like you did today. So it's going to be just as hot, if not hotter, as we head into tomorrow, Friday, possibly even hotter. Remember those warnings and watches in effect through 8 o'clock on Friday. A little cooler by Saturday, still very warm by your Sunday, and cooling a little more as we head into your Monday. That's for the Basin in Orange County. As we get a look at the coast again, you're cooler than everybody else, but you're still very warm. You're in the 80s, and then we're getting to the 70s by the time we hit the weekend, and by Sunday and Monday, more 70s for you, so it will be a little cooler at the coast. And finally, getting a look at the valleys and the Inland Empire, 107, eventually pumping it up to 109 by Friday, being one of the hottest days of the week. So we still have more warming to do, unfortunately. And by Saturday, it's hot and sunny. It's still hot by Sunday. And finally, a little cooler, but we're still at 100 inland by your Monday. Back to you.